50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen.
When a rapper says you ruined my life, you know the beat just dropped harder than the contract terms he didn't read. Lil Meech didn't just throw shade, he hurled an entire thunderstorm at Rick Ross, accusing the self-proclaimed boss of turning his dream into a demolition site. Imagine walking into a business meeting and walking out emotionally bankrupt. That's what reportedly happened when Meech confronted Ross over a $120 million.
Lil Meech ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But you know, my response, nigga, that's my daddy. Let's go.
BMF deal that allegedly went sideways faster than a Miami car chase. The man's legacy, his name, his money, poof, gone in one Rick Ross Maybach music breath. According to insiders, Meech went off like a fire alarm at a gas station, yelling that Ross manipulated contracts, pocketed profits, and hijacked everything his father, Big Meech, built. The confrontation wasn't a rap battle, it was a boardroom bloodbath. Ross sat there like he was counting calories while Meech counted everything he'd lost. But here's the kicker, 50 Cent tried to warn him, yup.
You made my son $5 million. How much you made though? So you gonna stop? You gonna stop? Yeah, you made, yeah. You ain't just, yeah, come on.
My dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half, like 50 literally looked out for my dad more than the people that my dad gave millions to.
The same 50 who's basically hip-hop's Thanos when it comes to business feuds. He told Meech not to trust Ross, not to mix loyalty with leverage, but Lil Meech didn't listen. He thought he was walking into a partnership. Turns out he was walking into a trap. Now the internet's on fire, asking one big question: did Ross really ruin Meech's life, or did Meech hand him the matches? Because when you dance with industry bosses, you better read the fine print, especially when the boss is Rick Ross, the same man who turned being a correctional officer into a cartel persona. This wasn't just a confrontation, it was a legacy implosion. One built on street loyalty, now collapsing under label politics.
When keep showing up next to niggas that I don't f with, that's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just everywhere I got an issue. He show up around me. So I mean, you don't forget music, because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around, you don't f when you come around, like your antennas go.
Ross may have walked out with a smirk, but Meech walked out with nothing but echoes of his father's empire and a lesson that'll sting worse than a 360 deal hangover. When a rapper says you ruined my life, you know the beat just dropped harder than his career stats. Lil Meech didn't just confront Rick Ross, he detonated on him like a walking headline. Sources say he accused Ross of exploiting the BMF legacy for clout, coin, and control. Imagine thinking you're signing a partnership only to find out you're the product. That's the energy Meech brought into that room. Ross, meanwhile, sat back like he was running HR for villains, cool, unbothered with that "I built empires before breakfast" smirk. But Meech wasn't hearing it. He shouted that Ross manipulated his name.
I'm gonna address this, because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the sign, always with me.
An image capitalizing on his family's empire while Meech got scraps. It wasn't a beef, it was an ambush. And the irony, the man calling himself the boss allegedly treated Meech like an intern. The BMF star said Ross blurred the line between mentorship and manipulation. This wasn't about money, it was about legacy theft, ego, and betrayal. By the end, Meech's meltdown turned public, social media exploded, and you ruined my life. When 50 Cent says don't trust somebody, you listen or end up in the next season of his revenge show. 50 warned Meech early, don't mix loyalty with business, but Meech thought Ross was family. Big mistake. 50's been through it all. Ja Rule, Diddy, Floyd, you name it. So when he said Ross moves like a mogul with a magician's playbook, he wasn't joking. Now after the fallout, 50's sitting back like a prophet watching his prediction unfold in 4K. He even posted a cryptic "told ya" meme that had fans screaming. The deeper irony, Fifth built BMF the show to honor the legacy. Ross allegedly built deals to own it. One's a storyteller, the other's a salesman. And Meech, he learned too late that sometimes family's in blood, it's the fine print. Rick Ross out here, proving that the boss doesn't mean leader, it means landlord.
The truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow. got that paperwork, you know.
Ross's business style, ruthless charm with a side of confusion. Insiders say he structured the BMF deal like a loan disguised as loyalty, pretty on paper, poison in reality. He reportedly made Meech believe he was investing, not signing over creative control. Ross's empire thrives on power plays. From Wingstop to music, he turns partnerships into takeovers. But this time, his opponent wasn't another rapper, it was a name tied to a dynasty. Meech called it exploitation. Ross called it entrepreneurship. The internet called it typical boss behavior. Every contract looks sweet until you realize the sugar's laced with clauses. The BMF expansion deal was supposed to be the next big thing, TV spin-offs, merchandise, collabs. Instead, it became the grenade that blew up Meech's trust. He allegedly signed papers believing it would boost the brand, but Ross's team reportedly gained heavy creative and financial control. Suddenly, Meech was the face, not the owner. That's when things snapped. Behind the scenes, insiders claim Ross's lawyers outplayed him. Meech realized too late he wasn't building his father's legacy, he was leasing it back. The streets whispered, the blog screamed, Rick Ross just turned BMF into BRB, be right back, taking your empire. Once the story leaked, everyone from producers to promoters weighed in. Industry voices said this wasn't new. Ross has always been sharp, maybe too sharp. Some called it mentorship. Others called it manipulation with a business license. Meanwhile, fans flooded comment sections with free Meech from his contract. The story hit harder because it mirrored the original BMF saga. Loyalty betrayed, legacy endangered, and money doing all the talking. Rick Ross handled that confrontation like a man whose lawyer's on speed dial and conscience is on airplane mode. While Meech was going nuclear, Ross simply said, "It's all business, lil bro." Translation? You signed it, you own it, or don't. Ross later posted clips of himself in a Maybach, unbothered, sipping champagne, blasting hustling. It was trolling perfection. The man turned a feud into free marketing. Every outraged tweet became a PR campaign. Say what you want. Ross didn't flinch. In an era of chaos, he stayed silent, and that silence screamed power. Twitter didn't just react it through a barbecue. #BMF beef became a digital cookout. Memes of Rick Ross with boss baby captions, edits of Meech screaming "you ruined my life" to a sad violin beat. The internet went feral. Some fans sided with Meech, saying Ross exploited him. Others said Meech needs to toughen up, this is business, not daycare. Either way, everyone was tuned in. The meme culture didn't just amplify the beef, it rebranded it. By the end of the week, both men had gone viral, their feud trending like a Netflix trailer. When your father's legacy becomes PR bait, you know things have gone nuclear. Big Meech built BMF on loyalty, code, and control. Now his son's accusing his mentor of betrayal in public. That's not just business, that's family warfare. Old associates of Big Meech reportedly called this disrespect to the empire. They said Meech should have known better that Ross was an outsider using the brand for shine, but some defended him, saying the younger Meech was just trying to modernize the legacy. Now the family empire that once ran the streets runs headlines instead. You could hear 50's laugh echo from Queens to Miami. Man's been waiting for this moment. After the confrontation went public, 50 unleashed his usual internet warfare, memes, petty quotes, and cryptic shots. He hinted Ross always had snake tendencies, and fans ate it up. 50 turned the feud into entertainment. He even teased a BMF. The Real Story special, claiming he'd set the record straight. Translation? Ratings about to skyrocket. Ross may have won the business battle, but 50's winning the content war, and in 2025, that's where the real money lives.
I want to address this, because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the sign, always with me.
The boss got his bag, the Meech got his meltdown, and the legacy got caught in the crossfire. Now legal teams are circling, PR managers are scrambling, and fans are wondering who's really the villain. Ross says it's business, Meech says it's betrayal, but the truth, it's both. Ross played chess, Meech played checkers, and now the BMF legacy hangs between empire and exploitation. This isn't over. There's talk of lawsuits, tell-alls, and a possible Meech vs. Ross, the untold story documentary. In the end, the biggest tragedy isn't the feud, it's that BMF built on power and unity is now just another #war. The BMF legacy used to mean loyalty, brotherhood, and respect. Now it's trending hashtags, memes, and a battle for ownership. What Big Meech built with blood and respect is now a digital soap opera with brand deals attached. But don't get it twisted, this story ain't over. In hip-hop, reputations rise from ashes faster than a DJ Khaled intro. Lil Meech still has the name, the face, and the fan base. Rick Ross has the empire, but Meech still has the story, and in today's world the story sells more than the steak. So whether you think Rick Ross is the boss or the betrayer, remember this: in the music industry, family is just another genre and the chorus always sounds the same. It's not personal, it's business.